Hello student, how are you? I think you are doing well. Today I am here just to discuss with you about the introductions of oscillations and some conditions of simple harmonic motion. Myself, Dr. Trilok Kumar Pathak. I am working as assistant professor in physics, Department of Education, Tirthankar Mahavir University, Muradabad. In this lecture, we study about the simple harmonic motions, which conditions we said a motion is a simple harmonic motion or not a simple harmonic motion. Then we relate these terms like simple harmonic motion with different examples that you see in your daily life. So just we go to this lecture, maybe it is very interesting to you, so join with me at the last of the lecture till end, so that you get some knowledge about the simple harmonic motion, different types of oscillations. So layout of this lecture. In this lecture, we learn that what is the oscillation, what is simple harmonic motion, and when we said a motion is a simple harmonic motion, we study about the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. We also calculate energy of a harmonic oscillator, and in this lecture we also discuss with you two examples of simple harmonic motion. One is a simple pendulum and another one is the mass spring system. And we also give you a brief introduction about the damped harmonic oscillator in this video. Now we start with that what is oscillation. What is oscillation? So in physics lab generally, when you go to the lab in the 10th standard or maybe at the 8th to 10th standard, then you generally see this instrument in the lab. Right, this instrument in the lab, the prong of this lab is vibrating when we stick it with some solid object, then it start vibrating at that place. Another example is this one. If you see there, then we have a mass spring system, and this spring, if we stretch it down, if we stretch this spring down and release it, then it start vibrating. It start vibrating. So this is, we said this is just the types of mass spring system, which is the mass spring system. We everyone see this phenomena in their life, maybe at your home or maybe some other places or some shop of watches there, that this is a pendulum which is attached to a watch, and its pendulum is vibrating towards its position in different directions. So it is gain its position again and again. So we said it is an harmonic motion. It is an harmonic motion. We also see some places these are sockets in your bike, or maybe if you have scooties, then scooty these are sockets, or maybe some other two-wheelers or four-wheelers, some sockets are there. So when we travel on the road, then these socket is get compressed, then again stretched, then compressed. So these are also types of oscillations. Another one is a play which we called a bungee jumping, which we called it as a bungee jumping. You mostly students hear about this game. So in this game, when the man is jump in the low height, then it is get again its position after some fixed interval of time. So these are just some examples of oscillation that you relate these oscillation to this phenomenon. So this is very interesting. Now we start with motion. That what is the motion? So generally in our daily life we see three types of motion. These three types of motion, the first one is translational motion. The first one is translational motion, means a person is going on a road, you are walking on a road, or you are just driving a bike or driving a car. So they are just moving a translational motion. Right, your displacement is just translational. We can get like in form of arc, like in form of a straight line. So these are just the translational motion. We also see somewhere like rotational motion. Rotational motion means a body is rotate at its place. It's rotate at its place, like you see bicycle or which have some fixed axle, like in two-wheeler also, even in four-wheeler also. It is if it is just rotating at its place. We you see fair, some swing are there, so these are rotating about a fixed axis. So if these are rotating about a fixed axis, then we said it is an rotational motion. It is showing rotational motion. In vibrational motion, we already showed you that the prong, if we stick somewhere, then it is vibrating at its place. Like your prong is there and we stick there, then it is vibrating like this. So it is like vibrating motion. And the spring also, if we test this spring downward and release it, हम क्या करते हैं, इसको नीचे की तरफ खींच के, नीचे की तरफ थोड़े से फोर्स से खींचा और छोड़ दिया, तब इसकी क्या फिनोमिना होगी? इट इज़ वाइब्रेटिंग देयर, इट इज़ वाइब्रेटिंग देयर. So if it is vibrating, there some up and down, so we said it is a vibrational motion. And we also said like if we have a string and we attach some mass at the end and release this mass, that this mass is vibrating its position again and again, and we said this types of motion is the vibrational motion. So three types of motion we see in our daily life generally: translational motion, rotational motion, and vibrational motion. So here we interested in vibrational motion only. For the vibrational motion, we see that why we said it is a vibrational motion, and what is similarity between vibrational motion and harmonic motions. Basically, vibrational motion is showing the properties of harmonic motion, right? So when we said a oscillatory or periodic motion, what is the periodic motion? Here the question is, what is the periodic motion? So periodic motion, we said that it is a repetitive motion. It repeats its position again and again. Right? It is a repetitive motion with a period and a frequency. With a fixed period, that we said that Earth is rotating around the Sun. This picture you can see here, that Earth is rotating around the Sun. In how much time? Like 365 days, and 365 days it is rotating. So 365 days is just the time period of that. And it's when we said Earth is rotating about its own axis, so just take 24 hours. So this has particular times and particular frequency. Now we said that periodic motion also have amplitude and time period. How we calculate? So if we make a curve between time and displacement, so their time with respect to displacement is changing. So you can see that amplitude, their displacement, it changes with respect to time, and at a certain times it's a maximum displacement. This maximum displacement here we said it is amplitude, and the form of a wave like in crest and trough, and the particular distance or particular, we said a particular time between some two crests, or we can say between two trough. This time is called time period. This is called time period. So just we said that a periodic motion is what? Periodic motion is just repeat its position after some certain times. But rotational motion also comes in that. If we said rotational motion, so this is also periodic motion, it repeats its position. So every periodic motion is not vibrational motion. Some rotation motion is also there, but every vibratory motion or oscillatory motion is showing the properties of periodic motion. So we also write there that all periodic motion are not vibratory or oscillatory motion, but all simple harmonic motion or all vibratory motion follow the properties of periodic motion. Now we said that what is simple harmonic motion? The most question and the theme of this lecture is simple harmonic motion. What is simple harmonic motion? The simple harmonic motion is defined as the periodic motion without loss of energy, in which energy is not lost. Simple harmonic motion in which energy is not lost, energy remains constant. And the acceleration of the body is directly proportional to the displacement. First, energy is not lost. So if energy is not lost, then its time period remains constant. And it is also properties of free oscillation. It is also an properties of free oscillation. It has satisfied the condition of free oscillation. If we said that this is the free oscillation, then what is free oscillation? So free oscillation is generally that energy remains constant. If their energy remains constant, then we said it is a free oscillation. And simple harmonic motion, the important condition is that the acceleration is proportional to the displacement. Acceleration is proportional to the displacement, but the direction of these two are opposite to each other. Direction of these two, displacement from the equilibrium position, and it's directed to the equilibrium position but in opposite direction of displacement. Right, the direction of these two are opposite. A linear restoring force tends to push a system back towards a point of stable equilibrium. There is a restoring force. So restoring force is just, we said, if it is trying to an object in rest, right, a force which is trying to comes a object in rest, so this is called restoring force. Restoring force tends to push a system back towards a point of stable equilibrium with a magnitude that varies with the linear displacement away from the equilibrium. And this restoring force, the restoring force which is generated, that restoring force is proportional to the displacement away from the equilibrium position. So this is the Fs is proportional to displacement from the equilibrium position. If x, then we said it is value Fs is proportional to the x. Now there are some certain conditions for the simple harmonic motion. What is the certain condition? There are three conditions that we are listed here. First one is the particle move along a straight line and the motion is periodic. Particle move along a straight line. When it is possible, it is only possible when the displacement angle is small. A particle move along a straight line, this statement is true. In which condition it is true? Is true only when displacement angle is small and the motion is periodic. Just it's repeat itself. I said that periodic motion is what? When it repeat its position after some fixed interval of time. Second, the acceleration of the vibrating particle. The acceleration of the vibrating particle is always proportional to the displacement from equilibrium position and oppositely directed to displacement So this is condition that we use to drive the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. That this condition is showing you that acceleration is proportional to the displacement, but the direction of these two are opposite. The third one is related to restoring force. The restoring force developed due to elasticity of the medium, and it is tried to bring the particle towards equilibrium position. Here I show you some positions that if you see in the picture, this is point of suspension. This is point of suspension, means where you just suspend a body, and here is a bob which is attached to a string, and when we displaced it by some angle, maybe that angle is theta, and according to condition first theta should be small for a straight line displacement. So when we displace it and release this, then it tries to come at equilibrium position, and the force which is working for that is called restoring force. The force which is working for that is called restoring force, which is try to come into equilibrium position, and this are total length. And the maximum displacement from the equilibrium position, the maximum displacement from the equilibrium position is called amplitude. Maximum displacement from the equilibrium position is called amplitude. Now here we just try to drive equation for the simple harmonic motion. The equation for simple harmonic motion, you see here that F force is equals to minus kx. Force is equal to minus kx. Where it is comes, because we said it is restoring force, and we said restoring force is proportional to the displacement x. Restoring force is proportional to the displacement x. And for the minus sign we use here negative sign. We use here negative sign for the values of minus. Right. So due to this condition, if we remove the proportional sign, then we get F equals to minus kx. F is the restoring force. We know a formula from the Newton's second law that F is equals to ma, Newton's second law, and this is F is equal to ma. A is the acceleration, and we can represent A by d2x upon dt square. We can represent A by d2x upon dt square. So this value d2x upon dt square is equal to minus k upon m into x. And we get from here, we just consider that omega equals to under root k upon m, where omega is just to show angular frequency there. And when we solve this differential equation, that the differential equation is formed, and when we solve this differential equation, we get the solution which is in sinusoidal form. It is like x equals to a cos omega t minus phi. X equals to a cos omega t minus phi. So this is a sinusoidal variation, and if we plot it, then we plot it like this, and we can calculate the time period. Time period is just the distance between this point and this point. So this is the time period, and we can calculate the frequency also from this relation. So generally we drive a differential equation for the simple harmonic motion and solve it. After solving, we get a solution that which is a sinusoidal solution, and it is x equals to a cos omega t minus phi. X equal to a cos omega t minus phi. Now if we want to calculate velocity, so velocity is the first differential of displacement, and it is given by dx upon dt. So velocity v is equals to minus omega a sine omega t minus phi. And the acceleration is the again differential of this. We can write here also that velocity is dx upon dt. Here we use this term, first differential of displacement, dx upon dt. So this value comes, and for acceleration we just double differentiate it, means this value is d2x upon dt square. Right, this value is d2x upon dt square. d2x upon dt square, and this is equals to a minus omega square a cos omega t minus phi. So here we calculate the positions. We said position in term of x. We calculate the velocity of SHM equation. We calculate the acceleration of SHM equation. So these things we calculate at different position. If we put a different value of x there, then what is the velocity, what is the acceleration? I means to say we can calculate these value at the extreme position and mean position. At the extreme position, the amplitude x displacement is equal to amplitude, and at the mean position the value of displacement x is 0. So we can calculate velocity at the mean position, we can calculate like acceleration at the mean position, and similar at the extreme position. Now frequency is also calculated with the help of time period. If we calculate the time period, then frequency is just the inverse of time period. F is equal to 1 upon t, and the angular frequency is comes there omega, and omega is equal to 2 pi f, and its value is 2 pi upon t. So these are the term where we can calculate the velocity of SHM, acceleration of SHM, even frequency and time period also we calculated by these relations. Now these are some examples between these. Here we describe you two of them. Like first is the mass spring system. If we attach a mass to a spring horizontally or vertically, there are mass spring system is divided in two types, like a horizontal system and a vertical system. So here you see the image of a horizontal system, and if we stretch it by some force, then this spring is also stretched, and when we released it, then it is vibrating horizontal plane. So this is showing a simple harmonic motion. Another one is the case of simple pendulum, that if we have a fixed end, and we just take a thread and attach a bob there of mass m, and if we really displace it by a small angle theta and release that, then what happened? Then it is vibrating to its plane, and simply it is vibrating, then it is showing you simple harmonic motion. The third one is the U-tube motion. In U-tube motion, we take a tube in the form of U. We take a tube in the form of U and put some butter inside there. Then this is vibrating at its place, and it is follow the condition of simple harmonic motion. Helmholtz resonator is just a device that mainly used in some musical instruments, and if air is come there and it is going outside, so air vibration is also. We mainly discuss here like the simple pendulum and mass spring system. I also show you a picture here. So if we displace it, then this position is the extreme position. Like A and B position is called extreme position. Extreme position means where the amplitude is, displacement is equal to amplitude. Amplitude is converted to displacement, or we can say that at the extreme position, displacement is equal to amplitude, maximum displacement position, and this is equilibrium position. The O point is showing you equilibrium position. We use these words many times, like what is the extreme position, what is the equilibrium position. So this is your assignment also, that in the last slide we calculate velocity there, we calculate a relation for acceleration. So you should get the value, what is the value of velocity at extreme position, what is the acceleration of the extreme position, right? And similar things you can calculate for the mean position, right? What is the value of velocity at the mean position, what is the value of acceleration at the mean position. And I just give you one hint that the displacement is equal to amplitude at extreme position. So it's help you to calculate the value of velocity, and x is equal to 0, displacement is 0 at the equilibrium position, or we said it is mean position. Sometimes we write it mean position. So using these hints you can calculate the value of velocity and acceleration at this particular positions. Now here we start with an example. And this is like mass spring system mostly use a law is there which is called Hooke's law, right? A very famous law which is used there, and it is called Hooke's law. What it said, according to Hooke's law, if there is a force that is used to stretch a spring, so this force is proportional to the displacement. Beside it is force of a spring, so this spring force is proportional to the displacement. And when we remove the proportional sign, then we use a constant there, K, and this constant is also called a spring constant. In case of a spring, it is called a spring constant, and it is given by generally small k, and we write this formula that the force of a spring is equals to a spring constant multiplied by displacement. So here you can see we show you three positions, that in the first there is no force, second one we applied some force and we get displacement x. If we the force is twice, if we double this force, then this value is 2f, and the displacement is also increases 2 times. Why we saw it? Because by this condition you said that spring constant remains fixed. अगर आपके पास में एक स्प्रिंग है तो उसका एक ही स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट होगा. अगर उसकी लेंथ फिक्स है और आउटर एनवायरनमेंट जो है सेम है, मीन्स टेम्परेचर सेम है, तो कोई भी आपकी जो स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट है वो चेंज नहीं होगा. अगर आपने फोर्स डबल कर दिया है, इफ़ यू जस्ट टेक द फोर्स एट डबल मैग्नीट्यूड, तो योर डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज आल्सो गोइंग 2 times. Right, your displacement is also going 2 times. The spring constant for a particular spring is same. It is a constant value. So that is defined by Hooke's, and it is called Hooke's law. Right, if we remove the force, then it's come to its original position. So this is just the condition, depends upon the condition of elasticity and restoring force which is generated due to the elasticity of the medium. So this law is sometimes used in the mass spring system to calculate the oscillation of the mass spring systems. Here I show you a picture of simple pendulum. Here in my lab also there is a simple pendulum experiment. We use Catter's pendulum there, and just to show you that what is the equilibrium position, what is the extreme position, and why we said it is an extreme position. You can see there that the position of in the first picture, it is just a straight line. You said it is an equilibrium position, just be displaced by some angle theta there, and as for simple harmonic, theta should be small, and for the theta that should be small. So this theta is we just take a small theta, and the displaced position we said it is an extreme position, and when we release it, then this types of motion is coming there. Here I just to show you that these are the equilibrium position, and this is extreme position. As we note in the last slide also, this is also extreme position, and this is showing the length. This is showing length, and this is amplitude, maximum displacement position. So this is called amplitude. Now, in the case of simple pendulum, we just try to drive a relation for the time period. We just try to drive a relation for the time period of a simple pendulum. What we do here, we just take the length is L, and you know that always the component of its weight is downward and it mg. If we divide it in component, then if it is making angle theta from that distance, so this is a mg sin theta. From this direction, sorry, it is mg cos theta. And another one, in this direction, this component is mg sin theta. Right, this component is mg sin theta. So here, restoring force is working in this direction, and this restoring force, you can say its restoring force is equals to mg sin theta. This restoring force is mg sin theta. And restoring force is equals to kx by the, if you said restoring force, so restoring force F is equals to kx. So we can calculate a relation there that T equals to 2 pi for the case of a spring, T equals to 2 pi under root m upon k. T equals to 2 pi under root m upon k. Similar for the simple pendulum, you can see here it is displaced by the angle theta, and it's come to try to this equilibrium position. Here if we just take this triangle, you can see here, so this is called angle theta and length L. By the geometry we can say that theta is equal to small s upon r, and this value is also equal s upon L. S upon L. Now S is equal to theta L, and it represents amplitude because it is maximum displaced position from the equilibrium condition, so we said it is an amplitude. Now mg sin theta, which we have restoring force is what? Restoring force mg sin theta is equals to k into x. X is the displacement, so we just use the displacement here, it is theta L. Mg sin theta is equal to k theta L. If sin theta is very small, so for the in sin condition, if theta is small, then this sin theta is equals to theta, and mg is equal to kl. Mg, you can see here, mg is equal to kl, means m upon k we write L upon g. M upon k equal to L upon g, and using this spring formula we can calculate the time period for the pendulum also, because we just replace the value of m upon k by L upon g. So the time period of a simple pendulum that we derive in this lecture, this is 2 pi under root L upon g. So this is a relation that we use many times in many numericals all there, that length is changed, what is the oscillation, and if somewhere the gravity is not there, in some places the gravity is not there, or maybe change from the gravity of earth, so their pendulum ka time, the time period of the pendulum is continuously changed there. Which condition it depends? So it depends upon the length, it depends upon the gravitational acceleration. It is not depends upon the mass, right? It is not depends upon the mass, that how much mass you attach there. So these things. And in mass spring system is what? At the equilibrium position, this is the equilibrium position which is represented by A. This is the equilibrium position, and when we apply some force in this direction, then the spring is get stressed, and there is then restoring force which is working to the backward, and here it is, when we release it, then it is compressed by distance x, right? And if we calculate for the time period, then from the last slide this time period is come t equals to 2 pi under root m upon k. This time period is come t equals to 2 pi under root m upon k, right? This is mass spring system in horizontal condition. There are some vertical condition also. In vertical condition, what happened ki there is a spring, there is an spring, and it is attached with a mass, right? A mass is attached here, and if this is going downwards, because due to gravitational force, then this is stretched, this spring is stretched, and if we remove that mass, that spring is vibrating at this position, right? If this mass is removed there, then this spring is vibrating at their positions. So this is the vertical system. We said it is vertical system mass spring system, and it is horizontal mass spring system. First is the vertical mass system, and second one is the horizontal mass spring system. There are two questions that you can solve these questions for the practice. The formula that we just derived till now. So these are the first one is a particle execute a simple harmonic motion of period 31.4 second and amplitude 5 centimeter. Calculate its maximum velocity and maximum acceleration. So there is the equation that we drive for maximum velocity and maximum acceleration. So when we use the word maximum means where is the velocity maximum, where is the acceleration maximum. You should remember these things at the extreme position and mean position. Now at a 4 kg block extend by a spring 0.16 meter from its unstretched position. The block is removed and 0.5 kg is hugged from the same spring. If the spring is then stretched and released, then what is the period of motion? So in this numerical, the property is used there that spring constant remains same, right? If the spring length is same, spring temperature is same, so their spring constant is remains same. The spring constant we have to calculate by the first condition, and then by using that spring constant we can calculate time period of motion. So these two problems you should practice that, and more also you can search some problem right for SHM or mass spring system or simple pendulum. Then you practice these things to clear more concepts. Now the energy of a simple pendulum. So energy of a simple pendulum and energy of everything which is moving or stationary, there contains two types of energy. First is the potential energy and second one is the kinetic energy. Potential energy is due to its position and kinetic energy is due to its we can say kinetic energy is due to its motion, half mv square generally we use. So here in the simple pendulum, if you study and using different conditions, we drive that potential energy is half k square cos square omega t and the kinetic energy is half k square sin square omega t. The total energy is the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. So total energy is comes a constant quantity, and that is 1 by 2 k square. 1 by 2 ka square. That quantity is 1 by 2 k square. Now if we plot it on a graphical presentation, then you can see here we just plot potential energy by the green one and kinetic energy by the pink one lines. So where the potential energy is maximum at this point, extreme position, then your kinetic energy is minimum. Your kinetic energy is minimum. And where kinetic energy is maximum at this point, the potential energy is minimum. So we can say that total energy remains constant. This is the property of SHM also, that the total energy remains constant. There is no loss of energy. Thus total energy remains constant in whole simple harmonic motions. We also show it by a plot that the kinetic and potential energy is SHM is a function of displacement and roll over the course of a cycle. The peak one is the value of the another that we show in the last one. So here you can see that as the potential energy is decreased, right, then the kinetic energy is increased. Like if you I show by the different color, then kinetic energy is increased. And at this position where the potential energy have minimum value, then kinetic energy has maximum value. The conclusion is that the total energy is always remains constant. Now we go another types of oscillation, that is called damped oscillation. So what happened in damped oscillation? In a damped oscillation, the amplitude of the oscillation is continuously decreased due to some frictional force that offers by the medium. So we said in free oscillation there is the amplitude that makes constant amplitude, right? In free oscillation, the amplitude remains constant. While when we go to the damped harmonic motion, then damped oscillations, the amplitude decreases exponentially with respect to restoring force, and that value F is given by F equals to minus B into B. Minus B into B is just to be used that this is proportional to the speed. Restoring force is proportional to the speed. As here an example, like if you go somewhere in park, then you see a child is sit in a swing, and just you give him some displacement and release him, then after some times their displacement is going to zero, it tends to zero. Why it is? Because air offering some force on its motion, and it is opposing them. Air offering some force which is opposing its motion. So this is called restoring force, and it is proportional to the velocity. So these types of oscillation where your amplitude is continuously decreases. So these types of motion is simply called simple harmonic motion, damped oscillation. Damped oscillation, and the amplitude decreases exponentially in term. This is given by A equals to A naught e to the power minus beta t upon 2m minus bt upon 2m. This causes the amplitudes to decrease exponentially with time. This causes the amplitude to decrease exponentially with time. Now here the damped oscillation is just showing by the mass spring system, and damped condition basically take place in different three examples. Like first one is we take mass spring system in air, second one mass spring system in some honey, we just take the air medium to honey, and third one mass spring system to butter. So here three types of damping we saw. The first one is air, so air is offer less restoring force, we called it is low damping. Second one, we use honey, then honey has more viscosity comparison to air and butter, so it is called high damping case. And in third one we take water, and it is showing critical damping. So there are three types of damping. We show you in the next lecture more that what is the low damping, what is critical damping, what is high damping. So three types of damping there. We said if your motion is in high damping or critical damping, then there is no oscillation take place. In critical damping, as so in the figure C, it just comes to its mean position, and in the second position also you saw that there is no oscillation and just amplitude is decreases with respect to time. While in low damping we said, we see here that the oscillation is take place and amplitude is continuously decreases. This amplitude is continuously decreases. So this picture is showing that amplitude is decaying exponentially, and there are some oscillations also take place. So this is some brief introduction about the damped oscillation. What we learn in this lecture, we just learned that what is oscillation, what is a simple harmonic motion. We study simple harmonic motion, give their conditions, derive the differential equation of simple harmonic motion, and with some examples also. Some of examples here we discuss only two. First is simple harmonic motion, and second one is mass spring system. We derive a relation for the time period of a mass spring system and time period of the simple pendulum. We also calculate the energy of simple harmonic oscillator, that how we calculate the energy of a simple harmonic oscillator, and said that in a simple harmonic motion as such the energy remains constant. The energy remains constant. Now we go to the damped harmonic oscillator and gives you brief introduction about the damped harmonic oscillator, that how amplitude is decreases with respect to its restoring force in different medium, and this types of motion is called damped harmonic oscillator. There are some references that we use to make the PPTs and to prepare this lecture. And I thankful to all the students and all the viewers who are seeing this lecture and give some interest in this type of phenomena. Thank you.